Something happened today that most people wouldn't notice. But your soul did. Heaven called out your child's name. Not metaphorically. Not in passing. But directly. Deliberately. Archangel Michael was present. The spiritual realm paused. And your child's name echoed in a divine place where destinies are written and timelines are shifted. That's why you're here right now, because you could feel something shift, even if you couldn't explain it. You were meant to hear this message because the moment was never meant to go unnoticed. Archangel Michael says your child is not ordinary. Even if they seem quiet, misunderstood, or struggling. Even if they're young and you don't yet see their purpose. Even if the world hasn't seen them, heaven has. And today, a spiritual decision was made. Your child's energy was summoned in light. A divine marking was placed over them, and a new level of protection was released. This isn't just about your child's future, it's about a sacred promise being fulfilled through them. And you are part of that promise. You may have noticed your child saying strange things, asking deep questions, having vivid dreams, showing gifts or behaviors that don't make sense for their age. Or maybe you felt disconnected from them lately, as if something is happening in their world that you can't quite access. That's because they are evolving, spiritually shifting. Heaven has touched their energy, and their soul is beginning to activate. And this activation needs your awareness, your guidance, and your covering more than ever before. This is a sign. Not just for them, but for you. Because what is happening now requires response, not resistance. Archangel Michael says your child's path is entering a divine realignment. And when a child's name is called in heaven, it's not just a blessing, it's a spiritual assignment. That child becomes a key to unlocking something greater, not only for themselves, but for the family line. This is legacy-level transformation. And it begins today. You may not know how to guide them. You may feel unworthy, unequipped, or afraid. But heaven chose you on purpose. Not because you're perfect, but because your soul carries a vibration that resonates with your child's divine blueprint. There's something in you that they need. Your presence. Your faith. Your voice. And most importantly, your awareness of what's happening right now. The reason you've been sensing strange energy around them. The reason your child's behavior may have shifted. The reason you've been more spiritually alert recently. It's all connected. Because the moment their name was spoken in heaven, the energy around them shifted. The light around them intensified. And any forces trying to delay, distract, or damage them began to panic. That's why resistance has increased. That's why emotion has spiked. Because when heaven calls a name, the earth begins to tremble. Archangel Michael says there are angels already positioned around your child. You may have noticed flashes of light near them. Sudden warmth. Unexpected calm during their sleep. These aren't coincidences. They're confirmations. Because this isn't a random child, they are spiritually marked. And with that mark comes both favor and battle. Your awareness of this message is part of their protection. Your belief is a shield. You may not see it with your eyes, but the spiritual realm sees your child clearly. They are not hidden. They are not lost. In fact, the very reason Archangel Michael has spoken your child's name is because they have reached a point in their soul journey where their presence must now be fully recognized in the heavens. That kind of recognition is not ordinary, it's divine timing. It means their life has entered a spiritual acceleration. And you, yes, you, are being called to prepare, to watch, and to spiritually cover what God is building through them. Some children carry healing. Others carry divine sight. Some are meant to restore broken bloodlines, while others awaken dormant gifts in those around them. Your child was not just born into this world, they were assigned to this world. And heaven is calling their name because the time to activate their deeper purpose has arrived. Not 10 years from now. Now. It may start quietly, with deeper questions, new behaviors, sudden inner wisdom. Or it may erupt suddenly, with spiritual dreams, emotional sensitivity, or divine encounters. Either way, the message remains: do not ignore this sign. Archangel Michael says many parents, caretakers, and souls miss these moments. They shrug off the signs. They treat them as phases, moods, or coincidences. But this is different. If you're here, it means you've been chosen to recognize what others will overlook. You are being shown what's happening so you can respond in time, so you can create space for what's awakening in your child. Because this isn't just about protecting their body, it's about honoring their spirit. Have you felt your child pulling away? Becoming more quiet or intense? Suddenly asking questions about God, dreams, death, light, or the other side? These are not random questions. These are spiritual prompts. Their soul is receiving frequencies beyond their age, beyond logic. This is part of the calling. This is what it looks like when a child begins to walk with heaven. And when their name is spoken in the higher realms, their earthly environment must shift too. That means your home may feel different. Your emotions may be heightened. You might even feel like you're being spiritually stretched or refined. That's because you're included in their prophecy. You're not just a parent or a guardian, you are a spiritual gatekeeper. The prophecy released over your child's life today flows through you. And your spiritual agreement with it, your yes, is the key that unlocks the full measure of what heaven is trying to do. So many people pray for signs. But when the sign arrives wrapped in divine responsibility, they hesitate. Archangel Michael says, don't. Your child's life is a sacred scroll, and today, that scroll was unsealed in heaven. It's now your role to protect it, to water it, to honor it. Not by being perfect, but by being present. By being aware. By believing what you feel, even when you can't explain it. Because belief births alignment. And alignment births activation. You may feel overwhelmed by this responsibility. You may wonder why heaven would entrust something so sacred to someone like you. But Archangel Michael wants you to know, you were chosen for this role long before you ever met your child. Before their first breath, before your doubts, before the world tried to shake your confidence, God saw the warrior in you. Not the loud kind, but the kind who fights in silence, with love, prayer, and fierce spiritual intuition. That's why this message reached you. Because you are ready, even if you don't feel it. From this moment forward, your awareness is your armor. Your prayer is your protection. Every time you speak your child's name with love, with faith, with divine hope, you're echoing what heaven already declared. Your child is surrounded by light. Not just angelic light, but the light of purpose. The kind of purpose that won't be shaken by peer pressure, confusion, or spiritual warfare, if you keep the covering strong. This doesn't mean their path will be easy. In fact, children with this level of calling often face early resistance, emotional turbulence, misunderstanding, isolation, even rebellion. But Archangel Michael says, don't panic. These are signs of transition, not signs of failure. When destiny is near, the spiritual atmosphere often intensifies. That's why your child may be feeling too much or too sensitive. They're not broken. They're tuned in. And their soul is responding to the calling of heaven. Pay attention to how they dream, how they speak, how they react to music, nature, silence. There will be clues in everything now. The way they hold eye contact. The way animals respond to them. The questions they ask when they think you're not listening. Heaven is whispering through them, and you are the one chosen to hear it first. This message is not just an alert. It's an invitation. To walk closely. To pray deeper. To trust louder. Heaven didn't just call their name, it's waiting to see if you'll answer too. Because some children become who they were meant to be the moment someone truly sees them for who they are in spirit. That's your job now. To see them. To name the light in them. To guard it fiercely. To remind them again and again, you are not alone. You were born for this. And I believe in you. Archangel Michael says this message won't be given again. The timing is exact. The energy is sacred. And the prophecy is now active. Your child is not waiting to be chosen, they already were. All that's left is for you to recognize what heaven has already confirmed. So now, take a moment to breathe. Not just to calm yourself, but to feel the weight of what's been revealed. Your child is walking with heaven's attention. Their name didn't just rise, it was spoken with intention. That kind of divine recognition only comes when a soul is about to enter a new layer of their assignment on earth. And whether they're aware of it or not, their journey just shifted. Which means yours has, too. You may start seeing more synchronicities around them. Numbers repeating. Feathers appearing. Sudden flashes of insight from their words. These are all signs from the angelic realm, specifically from Archangel Michael, reminding you, this is real. You're not imagining the energy in your home. You're not overreacting to the emotions you're feeling. You're not crazy for sensing something bigger moving around your child. It's all confirmation. And remember, when heaven speaks a name, it doesn't just bless a child. It awakens a legacy. That means your family line is now under divine observation. Old patterns may rise for clearing. Generational burdens may surface for healing. Why? Because your child's destiny requires a pure path. Archangel Michael is preparing the environment around them for what's coming next. And you are being invited to help shape that environment with faith, wisdom, and love. If you've ever felt unworthy as a parent, unsure if you're doing enough, let this message be your healing. Heaven does not choose the perfect, it chooses the willing. And your willingness to receive this message proves you are aligned with divine timing. You are exactly where you need to be. And your presence in your child's life is no accident, it's part of their prophecy. So tonight, speak their name aloud. Not in fear, but in power. Bless them with your words. Pray over their dreams. Watch how they sleep. Listen to what they say in passing. Honor their emotions. And above all, trust that you were chosen to witness this moment for a reason. Heaven does not speak in vain. If your child's name was called today, it means something has begun. And what unfolds next will not only shift their life, but yours as well. If this message reached you today, it wasn't by accident, it was divine alignment. And if your child's name was called in heaven, then this is your moment to respond. Don't scroll away. Don't stay silent. Hit that like button right now if your heart knows this message was real. Tap subscribe, not just to stay connected, but to spiritually align with the next divine word that's coming. Drop a comment below, say your child's name, declare your faith, or share what part of this message woke up your spirit. And if this message moved you deeply, don't hesitate. Click super thanks to support this divine mission and help carry this light to more souls across the world. This is more than content. This is a prophetic moment. Heaven has spoken. Now it's your turn to answer.